box is out already. We only get it after 2 more weeks. Yeah, for once, Europe didn't really get any delays, so that's pretty good. But we'll crack it open. Or at least try to. And yeah, like I said as well, there's a lot of decks in this box that I am super excited to bring out again. Because this box supports a lot of decks that I really enjoy playing. When will we have regionals? It's 15th of October, I think, so next weekend. But yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm playing Combat yet, because I need to, like I say, figure out a proper list for it. And then once I have a solid list that I'm happy with, I'll either be playing it or something else, depending on whether I can sort out a list in time. Fitting the new Superfu 7-drop combo promo while keeping the deck at 49 is so hard. Exactly, that's, yeah, that's the issue. I've been trying out 2 Superfu, and I already just want 3 copies, but I don't know what else to cut, because there's just no space. Give me that Super 17 support. Is there Super 17 support in this? I didn't even realize. Gogeta and 17 will shine. Yeah. Yeah, let me know what decks you guys are excited for in this box. Why no more Scrub Games locals? Yeah, there was a bunch of drama that unfolded in the Discord, unfortunately. I know there's locals going on Tuesdays that Will is now running in a separate Discord. But there's no more Friday locals, unfortunately, which, yeah, like I say, I've kind of discussed about that already. But it's a real shame. So the sleeves, we've got the Gohan Beast sleeves. This is the artwork for the Z extra card for the deck, I believe. It's like, is it Special Beam Cannon? I think. Piccolo, no, Gohan's Special Beast Cannon, maybe. I'm not sure. And then we have the SCR. Angel Goku is the best one. I got Angel Goku sleeves in my other anniversary box, which I was, because I picked up 2 copies in the end. But yeah, they are nice. I really want the Zamasu ones. The Zamasu ones look really cool. So we've got the SCR here. I think this is the normal version. I genuinely don't know what the difference is. I didn't really care enough when they got revealed, so. But yeah. It looks cool. It's an interesting SCR. It's going to be one of those SCRs that's like very good for some decks, but it's very exclusive. Like, it will be good for the Pan deck, presumably. Maybe Spaceship, but it's a very archetype specific SCR. And then we have the Vegeta SCR, which is an amazing reprint. I'm very happy they reprinted this SCR. Not only because I didn't own it, because I don't really play red decks, and now I can actually play some red decks that use it. I can play Bulma now. Oh, that's actually sick. Yeah, I can play some control red decks that I've wanted to play for a little while, but never wanted to invest in SCRs for. But it's also just like one of the best red SCRs still. So happy to see that. I think the box designs for this one are always the same, because I remember before they do like 4 or 5 different box designs. But it's just this one this time. Premium anniversary box. It's kind of crazy that they called it premium without a normal version, but we move. And then we have the actual cards, which are just all in one baggie. I think the reprints are in here too, which is, again, a bit weird and very different to what they've done before. Because before you get to open like the reprint packs, but they only did 5 reprints this time, which is a bit of a shame. I think the highlight of this box sometimes is just the reprints. But we got some cards. We got the Freezers. And then these, I think, are for the U7 Gokus. There's the Big Goku, which is a really crazy card, honestly. It's only around for a turn, but it means that your opponent can't play battle cards with 25k power or more from their hand. Very, very interesting stuff. And then the Android 18 and 17, I think, are just consistency pieces and like extra draw power or unison play stuff. Only one Turtle Z leader in every box, even though it leaves the game and is intended to be used more than once. Is it really? That is mad. better than start buying 2 boxes, I guess. I mean, I bought a second box because, like I say, there's a load of cards in this that I wanted because I have played most of the decks that are supported. Yo, Jeff, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Ah, thank you very much, bro. Yeah, I got 2 boxes because they're, like I say, all of the decks pretty much I have played or enjoyed playing, so I figured I might as well. It saves me just having to go and buy singles, and I do want a copy of the Vegeta SCR at least. The Dispo for the Red Durin. The Red Durin support is really interesting as well, because it's all Archetype based, and I always preferred the Archetype route with the Topper Unison rather than the SS4 GT Unison. So I'm quite happy to see it, but I know some other people are not so happy to see it. This pan is meant to be crazy, right? Is it every time its power is boosted, you draw 1, and then you get to -20 something? Yeah, this pan is really, really good. I think this card actually boosts the deck up significantly from what it was before. Along with the... Did it get a TP recently? Or some sort of promo that's just a free negate for the deck, but it's also a 15k, so it becomes 20k when it comes in off your leader skill, and then you draw 1. Which is, like, absolutely crazy. And then this is the stuff we really want to see, the Angel Halo support. Unfortunately, this support is, like, super disappointing for the deck. Hey, Grick, he lives. Thank you very much for the sub. Thank you very much. Free negate, and oh, it's a blocker as well. That is, yeah, that's really insane. That pan is going to be crazy. Yeah, this Angel Halo support, I was super hyped to see, and then I read it, and it's kind of disappointing, sadly. I think the PyCon, it's a cool consistency piece, but I don't think it gets played over the other consistency pieces you have. Oh, you have to have a Z battle card Goku. Oh, okay, that's less crazy, because the Z battle card Goku is, it doesn't even have barrier on your opponent's turn, so as long as they remove the Z battle card, it's fine. That's less crazy than I thought. I thought it was just free if your leader was Pan. Once the Goku loses barrier, you just pop it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's less nuts than I thought. I thought it was just you free negate if your leader's Pan, and that's it. But yeah, this PyCon is like cool, but it never gets played over the other consistency pieces for the deck, I don't think. And then the Goku is really quite nice because it's a replace, like, it is just Goku Black, but with the Another World Budokai tag. So I do actually think you play this one because I was already running the Goku Black from the last anniversary box in there. But this is just Goku Black with the Another World Budokai tag. So it's nice. It's a shame it doesn't have double strike. It has blocker instead, but being able to pseudo arrival a blocker on your opponent's turn is pretty cool too. And it does the main thing in Goku Black that you want anyways, of the draw and the removal. But yeah, Angel Halo, if you want to support Angel Halo, you need to give it an actual Z leader that works with the archetype, not the UI one that was built for 7-coup. You either need to give it an actual Z leader that works with the archetype, or you need to give it some finisher, or like better boss monster. Because the boss monster it has right now is, you rarely play that card. Because barrier removal is super, super common. And it doesn't help you finish games. You need to finish games with the deck. That's what the deck struggles with. And then we have some cards. I don't know what these ones are. I know these are for the starter deck Vegito. What is this Gogeta? Is this for Miracle Strike? Miraculous Strongest Warrior. Yeah, this is for Damien's deck, right? Miracle Striker Gogeta. I only know that deck because of him. I didn't know that leader existed until he mentioned it one time in a video. I'm gonna say that these decks still suck, to be honest. They're not decks that I'm interested in, so we'll just move on. Yes, it is trash. Okay, good. Okay, good. This is... I'm happy to see Turles support. I was super happy to see a Turles C leader. And the fact that it gets 3 cards of support is super nice. I really enjoy playing Turles as a control deck. I know people enjoy playing it as aggro. I'm not an aggro player, so I can't do that. but the cards work super nicely in a control shell as well. And that's how I've really loved playing the deck. The Vegito can be used in set 2 Vegito. Oh, yeah. I know. That's the one that when it swings, you can bomb deck a battle card, right? I remember reading that card and just thinking that's set 2 Vegito support, if anything. Yeah, you bomb deck a battle card. Triple strike barrier. It is pretty good. Pretty good. This is for the quad coup? Yeah, this is the one that lets you early awaken. And I remember someone pointing out that you can play this off of Chain Attack Trunks, and the auto isn't restricted to the quad coup leader, so you can awaken early in any deck that can run Chain Attack Trunks, which is funny. I don't think it's relevant at the moment, but maybe there's some spice out there that can be toyed with. You should check the images I just sent you. Oh, is this a... Let me have a look. Let me have a look at these images. Oh, shit. The SSG Trunks with the mat. Yes, sir. Z-deck, side deck, and tokens. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. That looks sick. I'm trying to do the same thing with my SSG Trunks. I've got the mat and I've got the sleeves to match it as well. I think the main thing I'm missing is like another pre-release petrification, which I've been on the hunt for a long ass time. But that is very sick. I'm a little bit jealous. So we have... Oh, this is the Super 17 stuff you were talking about. I didn't know this was even in there. I have 3? Damn. I've got 1 copy, which Jamie gave me. But I've never even seen any other copies. I've just got the 1 copy. So this guy, when it swings, your opponent discards 1, and then you can play a 1-drop, add 1 to Z energy. I mean, this card seems good, right? But the thing is, the Hellfighter 17 deck is not good. This is a free negate. I remember seeing this one and thinking this one was actually good. I love free negates on battle cards that just work with leaders. They're so insane. And then this is another just nice consistency piece. I'm back. Did I miss anything important? I don't think so. Just opening the box, innit? Hellku bits. Yeah, what is this? Oh, this is for Gotenks. Never mind. Hellku bits. These cards are good. It's just a shame that I don't think the deck is crazy. But the fact that this has good synergy with Dragon Fist and just stops them playing extra cards is really uninteractive, and I'm kind of scared of that. And then this is just nice for draw power. And we have Gotenk support. Is it just this one card? Okay, it's just a top 5 searcher, help self awaken, and you can play it for 1. Sure. There has to be more than that, right? My Vegeta Z battle, I got the playset of the altar and the Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit of the Shatterfoil gold stamp. Nice. I need to find some more Shatterfoil Vegetas. I have 1 Shatterfoil and 2 golds. I don't even own 4 copies of that card. I sold all of them because everyone was selling them for super high prices, so I just wanted to take advantage of that while I could, and then just never bothered with a 4th copy. The Sin support. Now this stuff is sick. The Nuova and the Oceanus, and these can actually be played off of their respective balls, although I doubt you play the balls because they're also just 1-drops, so you play them from hand. But the Sin Z leader I am so happy to see as well. It's one of those decks that definitely did not need a Z leader at the moment. It could have done with just like some main deck support and it probably would have been fine, or maybe a Z battle card. But it got one, so I'm not going to complain because I like the deck. Is it? Oh, this is more Gotenk support. It's weird that they got split up. This is a nice Union Fusion. This card isn't affected by the skills of opponents and non-extra cards for the turn. And you can... Oh, you can Union Fuse using targets in your drop area. Oh, that's actually really good. I don't think it saves the deck, but it's good in the sense that it's better than what the deck did before. These are the Demigra cards. These cards have like crazy potential because this one can play... is it this one? No, the other one. The Demigra. The Demigra can play the 7-drop. for super cheap from your hand, drop, or warp. Gains double strike and barrier, but then you can't play battle cards that aren't mono black battle cards for the turn. But then the 7-drop plays another guy from your warp, so you have the potential to start swarming. And if there's ever any like good black 4-cost or less ones that you can then play off the 7-drop, you can just tech them in. It'll be super good. These are the boys that I'm excited about. The Shroom Salsa support, this stuff is gonna be super nuts. I am so excited to play set 18 Shroom Salsa with these cards, because that deck was never bad, it was just fine, but it was never like good enough. These cards are gonna make it better. I don't know how much better, but definitely better. They seem like they fix a lot of the issues that the deck had, and I am super hyped for that. This Mechie is absolutely snapped. This Mechie is insane. For 2 energy, a 30k dual attack. You can negate any battle card skills and take control of it as long as it doesn't have barrier. So you can even use that to remove the Gogeta SCR. And then, when it's played, your opponent warps a card from their hand and you warp a battle card ignoring barrier. Again, no cost restriction. So Black's whole issue of barrier removal is like very quickly getting solved. Whether you play the 7-drop Cumber or you just play, like, you just get given free barrier removal in your archetype for absolutely no reason. Z-Leader's more than enough, but they also made other support cards. Hell yeah. Android 16 stuff? Tom, you want to give your insights? What do these cards do? Draw 2 cards, let's go. I genuinely don't know what this one does. It's just a blocker, right? I mean, it's a free combo. It's not the worst. And then you put a Z energy into your drop. It's unison. Does the deck need unison removal? It doesn't, right? It's, yeah, it just seems like, yeah, it's got the, it is just a worse version of both existing 5-drops. Exactly. Because both the effects are just worse, less flexible, because they activate main. Yeah. This is a nice card. Critical, arrival for 3, draws 2, untaps 1 at the end of the turn. Which is a bit weird, because it means you want to arrival this on your own turn. But I guess Android 16 doesn't have a huge amount of like proactive play, so it's not that bad. And then places the energy in your drop, choose one of your cards against 5k for the battle. That's pretty good. I like that they've given you more stuff to do with Z energy, because before it was you'd generate a lot of Z energy in that deck, but you wouldn't really be able to use it for much. Will I build the Mechie deck? Yeah, I'm definitely going to build Mechie. The new support has got me super excited about the deck, and I've been working on a build myself. That is another deck that I'm going to be thinking about playing in the regionals, but we'll see. Android 16 support they could give Tom is a JPEG of Android 16 handing Tom his spare copy of Fiendals. True. 6-drop is hot stuff, proactive, draw 2, 30k crate. Yeah, exactly. And for 2 energy in total, because you untap 1 at the end of the turn, is very, very nice, I think. Now this stuff I'm scared of, the Cooler Mill stuff. Crazy. 25k gets over Koitsukai, gets over a load of counterplays, because it's 25k 5-drop rather than anything lower. Grim. SS4 Bardock stuff, again, another deck that I'm very excited to play again. Just very, very strong support there. And then we get to the Z deck stuff. The Golden Cooler Z Leader. So it looks like you get 1 of each Z Leader, 2 of each Z Battle card, and then 1 of each Z Extra card. So we got the Golden Cooler Z Leader, the Jiren Z Battle card, which is such a cool way to support Jiren. I think this, I was really hoping Red Jiren got a Z Leader, I'm not going to lie. But I think this card is a really interesting way to support the deck, because of the fact that it's an evolved target from the Z deck, with like conditions attached to it, but also payoff attached to it, which is really cool. I think that the way that they've designed this card is really nice, because it also means that you then have flexibility to just not have to play as many 1-drop Jirens in your main deck, because you can rely on this card as your evolved target later on into the game. And then it means you can play more of the other 1-drops like the Kunshi to give barrier to your other 1-drops, but also the new Dispo, which then every turn is drawing you and stacking up your Unison, And then if you give it barrier with the Kunshi, it's going to be harder to kill. It's giving you more draw power, and it's also stacking up your unison markers, which is then fulfilling the condition to play more copies of this guy. So then you have more evolve targets. So it all works like quite nicely together, which I think is a really cool way to support it. I don't know if it's better than just foregoing all of the support and playing the deck as it currently is, but it's definitely a very, very interesting way to do it, and I think it will be better personally. And then obviously there's the extra card, which I don't actually remember what the red one is. I think it's just a big power boost, right? Yeah, 15k and then minus 25k on the opponent's battle cards. This card is really good. I think the main issue I have with some of the Z extra cards, especially red and greens, is the fact that they cost so much energy for very energy restricted colors. The black one is obviously free, and then blue doesn't give a fuck about its energy. And the yellow one is just busted. I hate the yellow one so much. But I think what I am scared of is the idea of a card like this being abused in Cooler Mill, because Cooler Mill is a blue deck, but it happens to have a red leader and red energy. So it can just abuse a card like this, which is where I think it will be strongest personally. Because I think this card is really strong, but its main downside is that it costs so much energy for red, but it doesn't cost much energy in a blue deck, right? Plus, it's also quite good in Cooler Mill because it will get you the extra 1 or 2 mils where you need it, and it gives you extra defense where you need it as well, which Cooler Mill does really like. I'm not gonna read these cards. I'm sorry, Damien. I think this card has potential to be used in Vegito though, right? Because it's a Goku and Vegeta. So if you're ever stuck on one or the other, you can just play this from the Z deck as a little barrier guy. But then again, Vegito prefers to just free play out its Gokus with the Rescuer, or just pay one to play both from deck. So I'm not sure if it's really necessary. But it's cool, it's cute. And then the blue card, which is, again, a really nice... I think all of these, the extra cards are really nice. I think, like, looking at decks that can abuse these cards is going to be very, very key going forwards. It's just Realm without the draw on the top path, and then it's a draw a card, 15k, and a shadow token with blocker that also has combo power, so you can even just combo away. Now, the Turlers. I actually haven't read this Z leader properly. So it's crit. You can use it when your life is 4 or less, discarding the ball from hand. Oh yeah, it turns your 3Ks into 5Ks. Oh my god, that is so good. When it swings, draw 1. Pay 2 to add back the ball. KO a battle card, ignoring barrier. Restand 3 of your Turles Crusher Cores. Oh, shit. Oh, and it can put the ball from underneath... it can put the ball underneath the Z leader from your drop as well as your hand. That's really good. And for free Z Awaken, it's obviously not a 20k because it's a 4 or less life for free. But the fact you can restand and KO ignoring barrier on activate main battle, that's really good. Maybe the aggro version of Turles is maybe going to be the way to go now. Because like I say, I've always preferred it as a control deck, but restanding 3 guys is just nuts. And I guess you do run the ball package in there now, because I never used to run all of the Turles stuff, but I guess you do now. We've got a couple of pans for the quad coup deck. This deck is... Looking at the cards, I think this deck has potential to do things. I think this card is kind of busted for what the deck is trying to do. Like, sure, you discard super combos, but you're also taking 3 cards out of your opponent's hand, which in theory can also be super combos, right? Or secret rares, or yeah. And then it also just fulfills your leader condition to swing a big old quad strike at their face. Seems crazy. And then the green's the extra card, which... the top half KOs a 3 cost or less for 10 and 10k boost. And then the bottom half, you get Cells, Earth Destroying Kamehameha, plus you can KO a 5 cost or less. I mean, I think this card is fine, but I really think the green one is quite weak in comparison to the others. Like, it's obviously still good, don't get me wrong. But again, it costs so much energy. hitting 5 cost or less for 1 energy is not a lot. And then it sells EDK, which, you know, it's obviously very good. Don't get me wrong. It's very good. But you'd need a green deck that generates a lot of Z energy and then can still hold like 1 or 2 energy open going into each opponent's turn. Maybe I'm sleeping on it a little bit too much. But comparing it to the black one just doesn't feel good, because the black one is free, but it warps a 5 cost or less, gives you a 10 or 15k boost, I can't remember which. So the only thing you're missing out on is a random discard and maybe a 5k boost. So I don't. The green one is definitely still good, but I don't think it's as good as the rest in my eyes. Hey, what's up, Brad? I see you. We got the Sin Z Leader, 20k double strike base, and you can Z Awaken on any life total as long as you have 6 or more Shadow Dragon cards among all cards in your drop and warp. But the interesting thing about this card is the fact that sometimes you wouldn't want to Z Awaken because you might want to just tap 6 with your leader effect. Like, your leader feels like a Z leader, I'm not gonna lie, because the tap 6 effect feels like it should be attached to a Z leader way. It feels like it should be attached to a Z leader where it then falls off at the end of the turn to tap 6 and revive your whole like 7 dragons out. So the leader already feels like a Z leader, which I think is the weird. That's why it feels weird that Sin got a Z leader. But I'm not complaining. I love this deck. It's one of the few yellow decks that I really enjoy playing. But yeah, 20k double strike base, awaken at any life total, as long as you have 6 or more Shadow Dragon cards in your drop and warp. At the end of the turn, draw 1 card, then restand all of your Shadow Dragon cards. That's quite nice. So if you Z Awaken on your turn, you can effectively draw 2, because you can swing, draw 1, Z Awaken on swing to get a 20k double strike swing, and then end of turn draw 1 and restand your bodies. And then activate main battle, remove this card from the game, discard 6 yellow cards from your hand, choose all your opponent's rest mode battle cards, ignoring barrier, negate their skills and KO them. It's a really big cost, but it's a free board wipe for everything in rest mode, which means that this Z Leader is going to be really hard to swing through with any sort of battle cards. But it's also kind of fine for the deck, because at the same time you want to go back into your normal leader going into your turn probably. So I imagine what you do is you swing with leader, Z Awaken, 20k double strike, draw 1, end of turn draw 1, restand your boys. Going into their turn, defend, you 20k base and you're yellow, so you're probably fine to just defend. And then going into like some of their later bigger swings, activate main or activate battle, pitch 6 cards from your hand, wipe off their board, especially if it's on like a kill swing. Try and end their turn with that effect, and then you can just going into your turn, you're your normal leader again. You go tap 6, play your 7 guys, and then pay 1 Z Awaken again, and just do it all again. I think the main issue for the card is I don't think Sin can generate the biggest hand sizes until it really starts to control the game. So maybe it just feels like a bit more of a win more card. But 6 cards is like not a lot. You don't have to have a lot of cards in hand to have 6 cards in hand with this game. After the new stuff, do you think Meki can be the best black deck? It's up there, I think. I don't know about the best, but I think it's definitely up there. I think the deck is strong. I don't know what the best black deck is, or otherwise I'd know what I'm playing for the next regionals and probably for finals as well. But yeah, I think the deck is very good. So this Gohan, what does he do? There's more support for the Go tanks. Play it, pitch 1. You can search top 7 and play a Goten or a Trunks that costs 3 or less, and then at the end of the turn it goes back to the Goten or Trunks goes back to hand. And then if you have 3 or more energy, you can remove it from the game to reduce the Union skill on a 7 cost or less Go tanks by 2. That's really good, actually. That's a really nice card. And then the yellow one, which I despise this card so much. It's a mini realm on the top half for free. You can rest a battle card and get a 10k boost, which is insane, by the way, for free. That is absolutely crazy. And then pay 1 and you get Final Flash. but it can also hit unisons. Like, this card, the bottom effect is... This is just crazy. I hate this card so much. The reason why I don't like, I hate this card so much, where it kind of has the same issues as the green card in the fact that it's an energy restricted color, is because of the flexibility of it. The flexibility of being able to either rest a battle card or have Final Flash. And then the fact that you don't necessarily need to run Final Flash in yellow decks anymore because you just have Z-Deck access to it sometimes. I just hate the flexibility of it. The flexibility of the green card is like, okay, on the top half you pop a 3 cost or less, on the bottom half you pop a 5 cost or less. It's like you're always going to aim to get the bottom half. But with this one, it's like, okay, well, if you swing first with your big thing, I'm going to Final Flash it. But if you don't swing first with your big thing, I'm going to rest it with the top half. So it's the flexibility is what really, really breaks the card in my eyes. I think the yellow Z extra card is I hate it. I really hate the design of that card. We have the Mechie Z Leader. This card is so snapped. I love this card. 20k base with a black deck that has been for free. Juicy. And then it also restands an 8-drop and gives you a free swing off of your opponent's warp. Yeah. Mechie Z Leader is very nice. And then the black Z Battle or Z extra card. I think this card is good. I think there's definitely decks that will be able to sort of abuse this card. I love this card. I love the idea of this card in set 18 Shroom Salsa as a way to get your Z energy into the drop area. Just for like super cheap, and then you can actually overwhelm and start recycling your plays back. Yeah, there'll definitely be some decks that can kind of abuse this card. It's just very nice. And as well, black decks oftentimes don't have to use their energy so much because a lot of decks are overwhelm based, or they just play stuff super cheap early on. Or if you're playing a black control deck, you're probably not really playing anything other than cantrips for like turns 1 and 2. So you might as well combo off one of your cantrips and then get a free Z extra card out. It's just really nice for energy efficiency. And I think that's kind of the takeaway for all of these Z extra cards, is they're all really nice for energy efficiency. In the early turns, you just set them up if you're not doing anything, which is why I think it's a bit harder for red and green to utilize theirs to full extent, because oftentimes turn 1 and 2 they're wanting to do stuff anyways. But for some of the colors and decks that aren't really doing anything turns 1 and 2 other than maybe playing a cantrip and comboing it off, it's like the perfect energy filler. I love it. I really like the design of the Z extra cards, which I when they initially announced the idea, I was terrified of it because I never want there to be counterattacks or counterplays from the Z deck. I think that's when the game will start to get ruined mechanically. Because I came from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh's whole extra deck mechanic is completely bullshit. If you look at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list, almost every single extra deck monster that's like ever been on there or is on there currently is an extra deck monster that lets you then search the main deck. Because that entire mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is completely busted. And I think that's the equivalent of being able to access counterattacks and counterplays from your Z deck. Unless they're at like a stupidly restricted energy cost or condition. But we'll see. That's kind of a side note rant on design philosophy for me. I'm not a designer. I don't know anything about design. But that's just my perspective on it. And then we have the Z Battle card for SS4 Bardock. I find it crazy that they gave this deck 4 cards of support. And then some of the decks, they only gave like 1 or 2 cards. Like, come on, just give Angel Halo a 3rd card. Give it a Z Leader or a Z Battle card, man. That's why not? Why would you not? Give Jiren a Z Leader. But, you know, I'm a black player, so I'm happy to see some SS4 Bardock support. And then the reprints, which are also shoved in with the Anniversary Box cards, which I'm kind of not a fan of. I really liked the whole, like, opening reprints out of packs and getting non-foils and foils, and the foilings on them used to be amazing and they were super sought after. But if you wanted to just like pick them up cheap, you could get the non-foils. And I don't like the fact that there's only 5 reprints, 1 for each color, because the reprints I always found super exciting as just like ways to get cool old artworks, or just like cheaper versions of expensive cards. You miss when Bandai cared? Yeah. Yeah. In short, yeah. This is a nice-ish reprint. just because it's maybe quite tricky to get hold of, and the foiling and originally is alright. I hate this reprint because this is from the anniversary box last year. I don't know why this was reprinted so quickly. I hate this reprint because it's Paragus, and we've seen like 3 or 4 prints of this card now. It's becoming like the new Zarbon. Durin was a fair shout, yeah. It never had a reprint. It's one of Red's best unisons, exactly. I don't like this reprint for the sole purpose that it was in an event pack fairly recently. Whilst it's obviously a very good card, and I do really like the foiling on kind of all of these cards, to be honest, except I don't like the Paragus artwork or anything. But the rest of the cards I really like the artwork and foiling for. But even in saying that, I think these two are still bad choices along with Paragus. And then this reprint I'm really happy with. I thought it was reprinted in the Vegito starter deck, which initially I was a bit pissed. But it's a different Supreme Kai that also has a really long name that's also a 1-drop. So, yeah. I'm happy with the Supreme Kai and the Durin. The other 3 are a bit pointless in my eyes, but I'm happy they got reprinted because the foiling is quite nice. But I definitely, I don't like the Paragus. The Paragus is the main one I'm pissed about. There's so many better cards in green that need reprinting. Especially now that green is like a color that is playable. And not just playable, but very good. And also I just picked up my Judge copies of Paragus for Slug Mill, so I don't want any more Paraguses. They definitely could have chosen better cards to reprint. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is going to be the anniversary box opening. That's quite fun. I have got a second box down here in which I got the... Let me show you, in fact. Let me bust it out. Obviously, I got the exact same cards in there, but we did get the very cool Angel Halo sleeves. Angel Halo? Goku SCR sleeves. He's got a halo on. I mean, it counts, kind of. Yeah, these sleeves are pretty cool. It's nice that they're the God Rare. I do really want the Zamasu sleeves. I think if I were to... Because I'm not the type to go out and buy anniversary box sleeves for the artwork. But if I wanted to pull a specific set of sleeves, it would have been the Zamasu sleeves, because I think those ones are really cool. But yeah, that's kind of the anniversary box.